What is going on, everybody? You're watching Urban View, your number one home covering hip hop, R&B, and the culture overall. I'm your host, Josh Bryant. Thank you so much for tuning in. And today, I'm sitting down with the one, the only Eli Jae. What's going on, brother? How you doing today, man?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here. Thank you.
Man, it's such a pleasure to have you on. And again, that goes the same way. I've been listening to your music for a while now, and I gotta say, you have a lot of dope things, not only for the ladies, but also for the dudes as well, to get them some ladies. We're gonna be
Yeah.
talking about all that, and especially your new project. We're gonna be talking about sexual healing because
Mm-hmm.
again, you got a lot of crazy stuff on the way. But
Yeah.
before we talk about all those things, we got to talk about your come up and your background, right? So, just going back to when you first started, what was it like discovering music back in Port Harcourt, Nigeria, and how was it to build your relationship with that coming up?
Um, the city of Port Harcourt has like a very good relationship with music. Like the people love music a lot. Nigerians will love music in general. My earliest memories of like when I started diving into the world of music was with my friends. So my friends were like hip hop heads. They rapped, and for me, it was just about being around them, being around the crew. We would like talk, have conversations. They would go through like a pack of beats where they would freestyle, and I was just there, and they would be like, "You would chime in, like just do something, sing, and let's just have fun." And yeah, that was how it started. And I believe that was as a result of like being exposed to like the varieties of like music that we would listen to. It could be like the local sound within the city, like the Pitakwa. We call Port Harcourt Pitakwa. That's what PH people call Port Harcourt Pitakwa. So we have like a sound, a local sound in the city, but we were also exposed to like the general sound that the world listens to, like the Afrobeats, the hip hop, the R&B, yeah, like traditional R&B music, alternative music, and all that. So yeah, that was like my first exposure to like music.
That's really dope. That's definitely dope to hear. And now I got to ask you too, in line with that question, who are some inspirations that you were listening to when you were trying to discover your sound and really grow that relationship into where you're at today with music?
Yeah, definitely Chris Brown, August Alsina, Eric Bellinger. I think there's like a couple more that I can't remember. But at the time, when I started trying to like write my own songs, when I started trying to like curate my own singing style, because I don't think I had like the typical singer um story where I would go to the church or I was taught or I was in the choir. I just started singing just from hanging around friends, and it's crazy. And I had to learn from like these guys, listening to them, and obviously I'm a huge lover of music. And yeah, so when I started, these were the people that I would like take notes from, like the Chris Brown, the August Alsina, the Eric Bellinger. It's a ton of them that I can't really remember now because that was like a long time ago. Yeah.
But those are still some heavy names, because when you Chris
Yeah.
Brown, August Alsina, Eric Bell, like whose aux were you like whose playlist did you have like coming up? Because those are some heavyweight names, especially Eric Bellinger. That's a real heavyweight name right there, man.
Yeah, that's a real heavyweight. Like for me, I've always been like the type of person that would always want to go and discover like artists. Like obviously, he's not a new artist, but you don't know everybody. You have to go search. You have to like go listen to. You have to go look who wrote this for who, who's in like the songwriter's credit of this big artist or the song that's popular. And from there, you find out like some very important people that make really amazing music. And I still listen to them till this day, but just that the older I have gotten as a person, I think like my taste and my how do I put it, like has become more vast. I listen to like a lot more different range and varieties of like genres now, and it's not just R&B like from when I started. Now it's like okay, I listen to this. I listen to like the Japanese house, Novo more. Uh, there's a ton of them. There's a ton of them. Singer songwriter genre, alternative indie. Like I listen to all of that, and like and it's like really cool. Like I'm learning from all of these people. It's not just R&B anymore, but I'm a huge R&B lover. That was like my first. Hip hop was my first love, but then R&B came along and like worked well. Hip hop and R&B, it came together pretty well for me. Yeah.
Man, that is definitely a dope story to hear. And like you said yourself, it's not just R&B, but it's multiple different genres inside of that. So if
Yeah.
someone were to ask you outside of R&B, who are your top three favorite artists, who would you choose and why?
Okay. Okay. I'll just mix it up. Currently now, I would say like I'll put Frank Ocean. I know he's like still in R&B category, but Frank Ocean, Miguel. Um, then outside of R&B, I would go the Japanese house. I would go Novo Mo, Hileko Bro. These are people that are not necessarily Americans. Some are like English singers like Welsh and all of that. In pop, I think I would go for Jeremy Zucker. I would go for yeah, tons of them. I can't now that I'm mentioning names, I can't really remember all of it. Uh, tons of them. John Bellion. Uh, it's a lot. It's actually a lot. It's a pack of them thinking about it now.
Yeah, no, I definitely get that because even when I'm put on the spot with like a list and I have a lot of artists that I'm listening to, it's hard to kind of like narrow it down and get through all this shit.
Yeah,
So I feel you
yeah,
on that for sure.
yeah.
Moving forward to this next question, though, again, we know we talked about it before. You love all these different genres, but your heart is in R&B. So,
Mm.
what was that initial decision to be really firm in making R&B the genre that you wanted to go into as an artist? And also, what was it like seeing all your hard work really pay off on your debut EP, Blend?
Okay, so I've always held R&B like very close to my heart, not just because of like the fact that I enjoy the music as well, but like if we go back to the beginning of this conversation where I told you like how I started like my music journey, it always keeps me grounded. It makes me remember like the times where like it was like just nothing. It wasn't about like releasing records. It wasn't about like being an artist. It was just about having fun with my friends. You understand? It was just about having like being in a group of people where you just have fun. So that's in itself kind of like it keeps me grounded and it makes me remember why I love this sound, why I love this music. This is something that I hold very personal to myself, and I I I love to make music that is very like sensual, music that is very like that gives you something to feel, something that makes you want to like just take a chill for a moment and just relax and enjoy like a calm, soothing vibe. And personally, like that's my own personality as well. Like talking to you can tell that I have like a very mellow, chill vibe. And R&B, R&B soul music is a huge representation of like who I am as a person. So moving forward to like making blend, I was really excited when Blend finally came out because Blend was like a incorporation of like R&B soul with Afro beats, and then there's like the parts of me that's already like exposed to like trying um, these other style of music that I've been talking about, like alternative single songwriter, indie music, pop music that I've been exposed to. So all of that put together made Blend. That's why it's called Blend. We just okay, since we have all of this coming together, let's just call it Blend. So yeah, like I was very excited when Blend came out. I still remember the date. It was released September 23rd, and I was happy to share that work to the world. We had some really amazing track on there. It was like my introduction to the industry, and I am still glad that I see people resonating with that work till date. And yeah. I'm very excited that we've grown from like that because that was like a whole nother time in my career. That was like being welcome into like the industry. From that time till now, I've learned so much. I have grown as a person and also as an artist. And yeah, looking back, it's really something that I'm proud of.
If y'all haven't already tapped in with Blend, it is a really dope project. And you already brought something up at the end of that answer too. And now I want to have you expand on it a little bit more. You talked about that project. It was really you being welcomed into the industry, learning how things work, trying to
Yeah,
find your footing, trying to find your sound. What
yeah.
was your welcome to the industry moment? If you feel like you've had one.
Uh, Man, I think that I don't think there will be like there will ever be like one because I'm the kind of person that I am is like I'm not really like I don't know how to put it. I'm not really like crazy about a lot of like the industry thing. I'm like a very simple person. So I just move with how things go, how life takes me, like however I'm floating. I just appreciate like wherever it takes me to. So not just that moment. Every moment will always be like a welcome to another level. Will be like a welcome to another level in whatever industry that I find myself, not just music. But yeah, so Blend was like, okay, you're here now. We don't have like a sound in particular, but you're here to make music. Now let's start making music and see where it takes us from here to 2 years later. Let's see how much growth you've managed to like gather for yourself. And that was like welcoming Eli into being an artist that makes music for the whole of the country. I was coming from like a city where I would just make music for like the underground level listeners to like making music for like the whole representing Afrobeat as a whole. So that was like a welcome into the industry for me. And every milestone that I achieve will always be like more of a welcome to like new audiences, new people that are introduced to like my work. And yeah, I think that's how it is for me.
That's a really thoughtful answer. And I never would have thought about it that way, but it does make sense to where it's like every new level that you go to, it's that welcome to the industry moment just at a
Yeah,
new level. So that's a
yeah,
really thoughtful answer, man. And you talk about new levels. We went from blend to another level with
yeah,
sexual healing. I mean, this single, you talk about something that can get people laid back, something smooth with that
yeah,
Afrobeats flavor as well. Can you talk about the inspiration behind sexual healing and how it will tie into your new album coming soon, Soundtrack to Great Sex? That
yeah.
title alone is crazy.
Yeah. Let me relax for this one. So the the project itself, like while we're making it, while we're making each of the records, we wanted something that would tie a moment with the people that were listening to it. We wanted like bring back something that was. I'm not saying that other people don't make this type of music in the industry. There are people that make tons of it, but we wanted something that represented me, but at the same time, my story, but at the same time could give people their own story as well because this is this is like we are talking about intimacy, we are talking about passion, we are talking about love, we're talking about sex, we're talking about uh, turning the lights down low, good music, candles, wine, and good sex and all of that. So we wanted to give people something that was missing, something that they could hold on to. We are not specifically looking at making a record that would make people go crazy. We wanted something good. We wanted something that wouldn't be just ours, but it would be for like everyone. That's why with sexual healing, when you hear it, you know that okay, this is the type of record that makes you want to make babies. This is the type of record that makes you want to like go crazy with your woman. You understand? Like, no, this is not. No, no, this is not just about Lij anymore. This is about like me and my lady. This is about me and my woman. And this music is like the medium that creates like the environment for me to have this time with my woman. And that is what the project is all about. It's about unwinding. It's about having your own time. It's yours as much as it is mine. That's what sexual healing is about. That is what STGS is about. Soundtrack to Great Sex. It's a project that defines having or creating experiences of your own with your partner, with whoever you're in love with or you're sexually attracted to. Because these are very important moments in our life. It's it's something that this project is something that we are all very proud of, not just myself. Every other person that worked on it, on every part, whatever little part any person played on it, like they are proud of it because this is a project that we we believe we believe in and we believe that it has a purpose. It has a purpose. It's bigger than just making a record and selling a record. It has a purpose. And yeah, that's it.
Again, you talked about it, the intimacy, being sensual, just
Yeah.
having that time with your partner. That type of music is never going to go out of style. And you talked about it as well. Again, the intimacy, the romance, the love. How much of a role does love and romance play on the way that you create your music? And how much of an effect do you want that to have on your listeners as they're listening to your music?
Yeah, okay. Personally, I believe in. I'm a huge lover of romance. I love romantic novels. I love romantic. I think I'm a romantic guy in a sense. I believe so when I need to be, and that is. I feel like maybe not everyone is romantic, but everyone likes the idea of like being in a romantic space or in a romantic state of mind when they're with somebody that makes them feel safe, that makes them feel that type of way. And for me, it's like okay, let's talk about. We've talked about so many things in the music. We can touch on so many other things, and we can talk about the cool stuff all day. But let's touch on topics that really mean something, something to me as an individual, as a man. You understand? As a man that has these emotions, as a man that wants to be with a woman, as a man that enjoys the time of being with like a partner or someone that I find attractive. And that's like the idea of like what's made me feel like this is a record that needs to be out there. This is like the type of music that needs to be out there. While making it like everyone understood that this is not just like oh Eli Jae is not just talking about himself. And I won't lie, while making it like it was something that was kind of practical because within that period I spent a lot of time with like different with like women. You understand? I spent a lot of time with like women. I was having fun, but instead of me to just like turn it into something that was like just fun, I made it something that was very personal and very emotional and something that would really pass a message across. I did not want to turn it into something entirely negative. I know people will be like, oh, soundtrack to great sex, sexual healing is negative, and what, but when you listen to the record, you can tell that it's curated in a way where love is being appreciated, romance is being appreciated, and that's it. That's it.
Man, like you said, in this generation too, especially for like young like men,
Yeah.
love and romance isn't really appreciated because a lot of them are like, hey, it's about trying to get to the bedroom. But
You get.
you gotta appreciate it's about the love and the romance to build
Yeah.
up to that. So
I
again,
swear.
you having that in your music is definitely dope and it's appreciated. And also too, again, we talked about it at the top of this interview. Again, your Nigerian roots. Can you talk
Mm.
about how important it is for you to always infuse your Nigerian roots with the Afro beats and
Yeah.
blend that in with traditional R&B for your sound?
Man, I grew up around like Afrobeats like my whole life. That was what I listened to, and we already have people that already laid the blueprints for like where we are now. We have like people that touched on like this type of topics. Maybe a little bit different because Afrobeats has like a very like up tempo and it's kind of like a dancey kind of vibe. When you listen to like a lot of Afrobeats, it makes you want to dance. It makes you want to move your body. Yeah, but we already have like the likes of like Style Plus, Four Plays from like the early 2000s. These are like our own like R&B legends. Like these are people that I grew up listening to and I was exposed to as a kid growing up. And there is no way that I am going to make an R&B record now without incorporating Afrobeats because this is like my environment. This is who I am. And the person we have be, you get like I don't know if you understand Pidgin. I wanted to like speak a little bit of Pidgin English, but let me dumb it down. Well, yeah, this is who I am. I am a Nigerian. I love Afrobeats. I love everything that represents my culture, and no matter where I am drawing inspiration from, I will always represent like my Nigerian roots. I would always represent Afrobeat as a musician, and it was there was no thinking twice about it. Like I can't sing. It's not like I can't make an R&B song solely the way that it would be appealing to people that are not from here, right? I can't do that, but I am from here. Like I need to talk to my people. Music is a general language. I don't necessarily have to make it like to be just this style of R&B. It could be this and that incorporated together. If it touches you, it touches you. No matter where you're from, no matter what country, no matter if you can't hear like the language properly, if it touches you, it touches you. And yeah, I will always make every song of mine to be relatable to like Afro beats in general. It has to be that. Even while I'm incorporating whatever I've picked from like elsewhere, it always be interpreted in like a way where my people will understand it.
That is again another really thoughtful answer there. And then you talked about making sure your people understand it and that you give something for them. What does
Yeah,
it mean for you to, be such a profile artist in your community where people they're following you, they're supporting you, they're coming out to shows, they're buying your record. Like how does that feel for you?
that really is huge for me. Like there's never a moment where I look at these things and I feel like, yo, wow, like I'm really grateful for because you can imagine starting from like just making records in like a closet. Or imagine not being able to like afford studio time like back in the days with my friends who would not be able to afford studio time to actually making records where you have thousands of people really listening to and reaching out to you and like letting you know how much they appreciate your work. Like it goes both ways. Like I am more grateful to the people that receive my work. I am I am like really like grateful to the fact that my music is growing and it's growing in a way where it's like I am not just going far from like my roots. I am like, if not anything, I'm returning more and more to my roots because I remember that I did not make R&B music this way, the way I'm making it now. It was a lot more different from like way back when I was starting. Because if you remember, I said I was with friends that rap, so I always wanted to sing in a way that kind of like sang with the way that they rap. And that was how I made my own music at the time. But now it's kind of like more back towards the roots. And yeah, I am very grateful to see that people really appreciate it. It's one thing to make the record; it's another thing for the people to receive it. And you know, we we can only do as much as put out the record. And it's the choice of the people to say, okay, I like what you're doing. I want to hear more of it. And that's it. Yeah.
I gotta ask you this: what do you think is the legacy you want to leave behind as Eli Jae? Because you've already had such a great start to your career. Things are only going to get better for you. When it's all
Yeah.
said and done, how do you want people to remember the name Eli Jae?
Man, I was just thinking about this like moments ago because I have a lot of like self-reflective moments, and I tell myself like I want to be the type of person that impacts the world with like my gifts. I know that I'm still like finding my path because life is a journey, but I don't want to like use whatever I have to give to the world as a cash grab. I believe that I believe that like I'm here for a purpose, and that's to serve. And I want to serve in a way that my kids will one day look back and be like, I'm proud that my father did this. And their kids also will also look back and be like, my dad did this and he did not do it just because he wanted something in return. He wanted to like give people something. He wanted to show people that there is a way, this is a way, this is something that maybe this is something that I don't really know how. I don't really know how I'm going to get there, but this is what I hope to leave the world with. I want to leave so much of myself that it really sticks. I really want to leave that much impact. And I don't really know what it will be. I don't know if it will be through music or something else, but I really want to give to the world because the world needs a lot more giving than taking. A lot of people taking a lot, like, and they're not giving. I don't want to speak about people, but that's just how I see myself, and that's just what I want.
And again, I feel like a lot of people they can relate to that as far as for leaving a strong legacy that your kids, their kids, they'll be able to resonate with and say that you did something impactful, not
Yeah,
only in music but in the community as well. So I
yeah,
definitely feel you on that answer, man. Definitely another good one.
yeah.
And we're not too far into 2025, but
Mm-hmm.
we're almost at the halfway point. We know Soundtrack to Great Sex is dropping, but outside of this project, what else can fans be expecting from Eli Jae for the rest of 2025?
More music for sure. Like, so, oh, I am not supposed to say too much, but we are like about to dive into like the next project, and it's entirely different from like this. Because yeah, the music is all about like how Elijah curates like how Elijah makes a project is all about like chapters. It's like a storybook. It's like this phase of my life I'm talking about like intimacy, and then we flip to like the next page and it's talking about something else. And more music. I don't know if it's coming. I don't know if like a tape will be dropping this year again, but I just know that the work continues, and we keep going, and I believe that it will be something to keep whoever is coming to look at what I'm doing to keep them here to see what's coming up next.
Man, that's dope. And you talked about it at the end of your answer again about different chapters, right? This chapter is about intimacy, and then it's going to be a whole nother chapter soon.
Yeah.
If you were, because you're already kind of an author in a way, writing these songs, putting it together, if you had to write a title for this chapter in your life and career, what would it be and why?
This this title was love. This title is love. Is love because it's not really putting people in a space where it's the part of me that is more like okay, I am not scared to like talk about these things the way I talk about it. I feel safe to put these things in a record to to show people that the beauty in being vulnerable with love, to show people the beauty in being vulnerable with like romance. So this chapter is me opening up and showing people the parts of me that is colorful in love. And this I hope this continues. I know that there will be different chapters, and and it will be entirely different. But yeah, this chapter definitely is love. Love is love is such a huge deal. Like I believe so much in, not just in romance, but just like showing love, being kind, like giving. Like I said, this tape. If you remember what I said about this tape, that is not just mine. It's also belongs to like the people that receive it, because it's like, okay, you take it. There's love in sharing. This is like my own experience that I'm putting on records, and I want you to enjoy it as well and create memories of your own. So it's like love, and I'm sharing it to you. So yeah, this chapter is definitely love.
And this is a chapter that we're loving for you. Again, your growth from your first EP to now, everything that your fans have seen you do, we are loving this new era, and we're excited to see what's going to be coming next. Eli Jae, the one and only man, thank you so much for
Yeah.
stopping by. Truly
Thank
appreciate
you for
you.
having me. Thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Anytime, bro,
Yeah.
anytime. Also, before you go, can you drop off your socials? How can people follow and connect with the Eli J experience?
Okay, you can find me on IG, Facebook, and Twitter, Lij Music at Lij Music, ALIJAE Music altogether. Yeah. On Snapchat, Lij now. Yeah, that's how you find me.
Yes, sir. Y'all be sure to follow him everywhere. Again, tapping with his music. There is a
Yeah.
lot of great stuff on the way. Eli J, thank you so much for stopping by.